I suppose now you say, oh, there are haunted people, much like me. Oh, ghosts in a ballroom dancing, aren't we? Oh, can you hear them sing?
Greetings and salutations, everybody. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. You're watching Raven Review. I'm your host, Raven, and today we're going to be talking about the chilling adventures of Sabrina, Part 1 and Part 2, which is on Netflix. It's a total of 20 chapters. Yeah. So, going to get into some minor spoilers and talk about the synopsis. If you want to skip all that, go to this time code down below. And yeah, so let's begin. Okay, so spoilers are done and over with. Let's get into characters really quick and talk about who is who in the actual show. So we have the actual character Sabrina. Duh, the show's about her. You have three antagonists. You have Miss Wardwell, who is kind of a bad guy who becomes an anti-hero towards the end. Get into that in a minute. You've got Father Blackwood, who is a misogynist, Satanist who runs the Black Church. And then you've got Lucifer. Those are the three bad guys. Then you have the three best friends, which is Harvey, Ross, and Susie, who becomes Theo, which we'll get into that later. You have her family, who is her aunt Zelda and her aunt Hilda and her cousin Ambrose. So those are all the main characters of the actual show. The show starts off with her being 15, and it's going to be her birthday soon. So her birthday falls on Halloween. Plus, on top of that, she has to basically be part of a dark baptismal where she signs her soul away to the Dark Lord. She doesn't do that, and eventually she has to get a lawyer, and the lawyer defends her, so she gets to go to both the mortal church, which is regular high school, and then she has to go to the witch academy. There she meets her another friend, which is Nicholas, and then there's the three sister witches. They have some funky name and I forget what it is off the top of my head. I apologize. So, and they're kind of like, I don't know, like the bullies, but they do help Sabrina from time to time. So as this is going on and she's going to both schools, she slowly drifts away from her her mortal friends, but she's also trying to help them also through the shadows and stuff like that. While this is happening, you find out that her parents passed away, and she's investigating what exactly happened to her parents throughout the episodes, and you find out that her parents died in a plane crash. Then also on top of that, like I said, we have the anti-hero, Miss Waldrow, who lies and says that she is Sabrina's ex-secretary because her dad used to be a high priest in the Satanic Witch Church. Little do you know, you find out that she actually is working for Satan, but because Satan, or Lucifer, whatever you want to call him, is basically pulling the strings, and she does his becking call, leads her down these dark paths to eventually she becomes sort of like a dark messiah towards the end, and you find out that Sabrina is actually Satan's daughter. Uh, Meanwhile, the Father Blackwood, um, he has um, two children with his wife, and Zelda steals one of them because he's just a misogynist and he doesn't like women at all. Um, he sees them as just basically they should be suburban to women. Like they should do what women say at all times. Eventually, he does get his daughter back and tries to reform the church into this like misogynist type church where the women do lesser things than the men. Eventually, he does run away. We have also a scene where three witch hunters show up, which are actually angels of God, and they're there to kill all the witches. And so that's when Sabrina, as a dark messiah, because she's done all these different dark prophecies, she becomes this dark messiah. Eventually, she gives up all her powers, and she has to kill her clone, which ends the entire prophecies and brings Satan to the real world. Eventually, she does defeat Satan, and the show kind of ends on a dramatic climax with Nicholas, who you meet later on, who eventually becomes Sabrina's boyfriend, and Harvey and Ross become boyfriend and girlfriend. There's a lot that happens in this show, and Susan becomes Theo because she becomes transgendered. So there's all that stuff that happens in the show, and eventually they end the show with Ambrose and Father Blackwood's oldest daughter, who he has in secret. Her and Ambrose become witch hunters to hunt down Blackwood, and Sabrina gets back together with her friends in order to save her boyfriend from hell. And that's how they end the entire show. So, with all of that out of the way, let's get into what I think of the rating. I'm going to rate it as this. Now, my actual thoughts of the show, and hopefully I can do this like within 2 or 3 minutes and not have this as a super long video. The reason why I rated it is because the show itself touches a lot of different topics. It talks about transgender, it talks about gay rights, it talks about bullying, it talks about teenagers becoming adults and the things that they go through, give or take, the whole magic element. But overall, the show touches like all these different like topics that most people don't usually talk about, and it covers all of it quite well. Like the episode is seriously like focused on that one topic, like Susan becoming Theo and joining the men's basketball team, and them, her having to get through the whole bullying thing and stuff like that. Like it really focuses on those topics, and it talks about how Sabrina has to get over being the new girl in the academy or being privileged because her father was a high priest, and her basically fighting these old ways and adopting new open-minded ways of where men and women are treated as equals. It really focuses on those type of topics, and that's why the show is so good, because it covers a lot of like real world topics is the best way to put it. As far as the acting, all the acting is absolutely amazing. um, I could go on and on about all the different characters, but I'm not going to do that because then this video would be like freaking forever, and we're already at the 10, somewhere around the 10-minute mark, I think. So yeah, but all the actors are amazing. They do such a great role. You definitely believe that the characters are who they are. It's not forced. You're not forced to believe what you're seeing is being shown to you, is the best way to put it. And I really, really enjoyed that. The music is absolutely amazing. Uh, it has these elements where the music plays at the most appropriate time, especially when it's creepy and stuff like that, or they have to fight a demon or something like that. You see the characters rise up, they fall and they get defeated, and they have to rise back up in order to defeat, whatever enemy pops up. Because a couple demons do pop up in here, and I'm not even going to get into all the demons because there's quite a few of them that actually pop up in the series. But Sabrina does her best in order to defeat these demons with the help of her friends, her family, and stuff like that. So the whole thing about her family and her parents dying, you get to see that evolve, and you find out about the truth about that. You get to meet the anti-pope, which was really, really fucking cool. I thought that was neat. Once you guys see the anti-pope, if you've seen Reaper, you'll know who I'm talking about. Um, I think that was a great pick to be the anti-pope. I don't remember the actor's name off the top of my head, but that's where he's from. So yeah, like I said, the show is very well done. The only downside is probably sets. You can tell that they like reused a lot of sets for different scenes and stuff like that in order for the story to be played out, and they constantly went back to the same like areas. And I understand it's supposed to be a small town and stuff like that, but you can definitely tell like where one area is supposed to be considered like maybe a different area. It's really not. It's just a redesign of the set. So yeah, there's that. That's the only real downside about the show. But overall, I think you guys should really check out Sabrina. Um, it's an amazing show. It's so well done. Um, I really thought that season 2 or part 2 was going to come out in October, but it came out in April. Maybe part 3 will come out in October because the show is so popular. I don't know. I really don't know. But overall, I really think you guys should check out the show. It's well worth your time and energy. Binge it if you like, because they're all there. They have a really interesting like Christmas special, which is like episode 11. And that one was actually really, really neat. I liked that. It was kind of entertaining. So yeah, that's all I got to really say about the show. Hope you all definitely check it out. Hope you like the review. Definitely put a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And we'll be talking to you all later. So yeah, don't forget to give someone a hug. May change their day, may change their life. And we will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.